Ladies and gentlemen, that was silly. Michael Palmisano here again. And when I did Cover Me Up by Jason Isbell, the 400 unit, and his wife Amanda Shires, of course, I was completely blown away. I immediately felt kind of ridiculous that I didn't know who he was. For someone who's such a song person, a simple chord, simple melody, 3 chords in the truth, delivery, purist person, to not know who he was is somewhat embarrassing. But the comments were so overwhelmingly positive that I shared how much the music connected with me personally that I knew I was going to do another one very soon. But I wanted to wait for the right time. The overwhelming choice from everyone, from most of the commenters, hundreds and hundreds of commenters, was If We Were Vampires. And basically everyone said the same thing. Do it if you want to cry in front of the camera. So I said, okay. So I've been waiting for a special time to do this. Now, if you haven't yet, go back to the last video I posted. It's entitled A Trucker Sent Me a Song. Now, James Burnett is a truck driver that works for Walmart. He's an aspiring singer, songwriter, but he doesn't have a musical background. He took an incredible amount of courage and sent me an a cappella video to which I put music to and posted without him knowing. And the video is blowing up. If you haven't seen it, here's a little clip.
Feeling like a nobody, trying to be somebody. Really, I'm a homebody, 'cause it's quiet in here. The world is just too big. Sometimes I lose it. I double up to fix and curse at myself.
So if you like that, make sure you go over to the video, share it around, see if we can get people to know about James. So anyway, this has put me into like this songwriter kind of frame of mind. I said, you know what? This is the time, following that video, when we're feeling emotionally connected, we're feeling the positive vibes, like, what that was special. Like that was a bright light in this dark place right now, right? I figured now's the time to do Isbell again. And we're going to do the big tune, If We Were Vampires. Now, full disclosure, I've heard this because it was playing on Alexa the other day. My wife had some channel on, and I was like, what is this tune? And so I asked Alexa what it is, and of course it said Jason Isbell, 400 unit for Vampires. I said, Jesus, of course it is. So I've heard this. So I went back and I found this version, this 909 in studio, the bridge, and I think it is absolutely tremendous. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to play it once, okay? I hope you guys stick with me on this video. I promise good stuff is in here. It's so good. This is literally one of the best songs I've ever heard. I'm not joking. Lyric-wise, melody-wise, chord-wise, delivery, the content, this is really, truly, deeply a stone cold 10. So I'm going to show you this version, and I'm just going to take it in. Then I'm going to go back, and I'm going to show you the chords, the melody, how it connects the chords, talk about the lyrics, and you guys know my style here. I break it down, right? But for 3 minutes and 21 seconds, for anybody that doesn't know him, that hasn't heard this song or even this version, or even if you have, put the good headphones on, put this on your speakers, and just take it in and listen. And if you didn't know that he and the fiddle player are married, watch the interplay between the two and listen to what they're singing about. Here you go.
It's not the long flowing dress that you're in, or the light coming off of your skin, the fragile heart you've protected for so long, or the mercy in your sense of right and wrong. It's not your hand searching slow in the dark, or your nails leaving love's watermark. It's not the way you talk me off the roof, your questions like directions to the truth. It's knowing that this can't go on forever. Likely one of us will have to spend some days alone. Maybe we'll get 40 years together, but one day I'll be gone, or one day you'll be gone. If we were vampires and death was a joke, we'd go out on the sidewalk and smoke, and laugh at all the lovers and their plans. I wouldn't feel the need to hold your hand. Maybe time running out is a gift. I'll work hard till the end of my shift, to give you every second I can find, and hope it isn't me who's left behind. Knowing that this can't go on forever. Likely one of us will have to spend some days alone. Maybe we'll get 40 years together, but one day I'll be gone, and one day you'll be gone. Knowing that this can't go on forever. Likely one of us will have to spend some days alone. Maybe we'll get 40 years together, but one day I'll be gone, and one day you'll be gone.
I mean, it's one of the best songs I've ever heard in my life for so many reasons. But the basic, I'm going to go through the structure and the chords and everything. But just the idea, the way that he paints the picture, the way that he makes something we all, if we're lucky, feel, right? The reason we're alive, right? The way he makes that universal thing, personal and applicable and so specific, is just, it's immeasurably good. It's immeasurably good. The whole idea of a love song called If We Were Vampires, because vampires never die. And he starts in the beginning, and he's talking about how it's not this, it's not that. And he's painting the pictures of all the things that are imprinted in our brains, right? When we may look back on our relationships, right? You know, all those flickers in our mind that we all have. He said, it's not that. It's that we know it's going to be over. We know that some of us are going to have to spend some days alone. We know this can't go on forever. That's the gift. And it gets stronger the closer to the finish line that you get. What a powerful concept for a song that's so true. Trying not to get emotional on camera, but here we go. All right, so let me show you what makes this what it is. Now, if you guys, again, if you're seeing me for the first time, you might say, what the hell is this channel? But so, aside from that, what we're going to do is kind of a hybrid. It's a hybrid between, if you were to come in my room, we have 30 minutes, you play the song, I kind of figure out what it is, the key takeaways, and teach it to you. And if I were to learn this for a gig with the band, what are the things I would take note of that I'm hearing that I have to get? That, and also, you know, lyrical and emotional, philosophical introspection, obviously. Here we go. All right, so let's talk about that. That is the intro and the verse, and it's always in two parts. Your basic chords here, you are in the key of F, but you have a D minor, so it's a 6 chord, right? Then you are going to your 3 chord, that is A minor, to your 4 chord, which is B flat major. So what you have here is you have your D in the bass, and your melody line goes like this. It goes 5, 4, flat 3. And then it jumps to the 3rd of A, right? And then back up to that A note. Back up to the 3rd of A, which is C, then goes up to D when the chord changes to B flat. So the story of this melody for the first part, remember it's in 2 parts, is 5 going down to the minor 3rd of D, minor 3rd of A, walk up, major 3rd of B flat. So it's key to remember that. And that melody is exactly what he sings when he sings the melody. There's not many deviations here. This is a perfect melody to connect perfect chord changes, all right? Now, when it gets into the second part, it goes... Now, what the chords are, is you have D minor again, but now you're going D, up to E, so you're not going to that 3rd of D, right? Creates that little suspension, but it works because you're just staying in line. It's a, 1, 2, 3, and then a 1, 2, 3 of F major, which is where it switches. So this is a 6 to a 1. So it's just, and that's why it works. So over the D again, root, 9, root, flat 7, right? That is your C, right? You're in key here. And then it goes 1, 2, 3 on F. But it doesn't get to the F until you get to the major 3rd. So the story of part 2 is about kind of doing a root sus, like a root suspending the third. You're not hitting the third here. So it's a story about like D sus going to the third of F major, which is of course is the A. So you put that together and you have right, you do it again, right? And then the second time it does it, it goes it goes down to a C there, right? It goes F to a C. And you'll see when you go through this performance, right, that sometimes there's voice led down, first inversion, C over E. Sometimes it's straight across, F to C like that, root to root. But this, Jason always plays that, and the band has to work around it. There's some fuzzy spots in here that are imperfect, which makes it even more. I'll show you.
Not the long flowing dress you're in, or the light coming off of your skin.
His delivery here, how he's swelling in and out from the microphone, getting a little louder each time.
Fragile heart you protected for so long, with a mercy in your sense of right and wrong. It's not your.
Those are always the ones you have to listen for. You know, all those. You let. Right? Or just. Or. But it always does that A down to a G. But, I mean.
Your hands searching slow in the dark.
Hands searching slow in the dark.
Or your nails leaving love's watermark.
Your nails leaving love's watermark. You know, that it, you know, I mean, he really is. I agree with Mayer. Like, he's the best lyricist of our generation that I'm aware of right now. I mean,
it's not the way you talk me off the roof. Your questions like directions to the truth.
Your questions like directions to the truth. It's so true.
It's knowing that this can't go on forever.
See that little look?
Knowing that this can't go on forever.
Again, they're married. Right when she comes in with the harmonies. And now notice the band is like staying out here for the most part. There's little swells happening.
It's knowing that this can't go on forever. Likely one of us will have to spend some days alone. Maybe we'll get 40 years together. But one day I'll be gone. One day you'll be gone. If we were vampires and death was a joke.
All right, now the band's starting to pick up and it's getting serious. We got to go back here. This is a wild chorus. All right, now you're staying totally in key. Let me put it in context.
It's knowing that this can't go.
Where do they come in?
Off the roof. Your questions like directions to the truth. It's knowing that this can't go on forever.
So, again, we're coming from D. Right, so walking up now in key, adding that E. But this is over the B flat chord. This is a 4 chord. So it's third, sharp 4. Remember, we're in key here. straight down the scale, landing on the major third of F. So now the story of our chorus is we're doing a 1, 2, 3. We're building off the major third of our 4 chord, and then going right down the scale, 1, 2, 3 to our major third of our root, right? Perfect melody connecting a perfect chord change, right? Knowing this can't go on forever.
Likely one of us will have to spend some days alone.
Right there. Right? So it starts the same way, right? And there we go. That's your F to the C. That's 1 to a 5. But to accentuate that move, right, of the third of F to the fifth of C, right? He goes, days alone, days alone. Again, totally in key. So, does it again. And that's the same thing, B flat. And then it goes, listen to how the chords work here.
Likely one of us will have to spend some days alone. Maybe we'll get 40 years together.
There's your D minor.
One day
C,
I'll be gone.
B flat. So it goes, right? 6, 5, 4. And the melody goes straight down. Right. Following the fifth all the way down, right? So it's always this. But it follows that. Follows that all the way down.
One day you'll be gone. If we were
But it's tricky. I want you to listen to this, okay? This is very tricky.
likely one of us will have to spend some days alone. Maybe
Right there was your first little inversion in the bass. Instead of going, sorry, F to C like that, it just goes. Again, you're starting to hear the band kind of come in, and it's going to get serious. Right? That's C over E. Little things like this really make it pop.
we'll get 40 years together. One day I'll be gone.
And now it goes up there. So instead of going D minor, down to C, down to B flat, even if that's what Jason's doing, you're hearing either Sadler, is that his name? Damn it. Or the bass player whom I don't know his name. Right? Go up the inversion here, and then go up again and reach the B flat like this. So you got one person going down, right? And one person going. But it all matches. These are the things you would plan out if you wanted to be perfect in the studio. But they're not all completely doing the same thing. So you get these little moments of imperfection whenever those changes happen, which is what makes it so incredible. It's one of those things where it's like you're singing about a song, which is, about the whole point of life and all the good and the bad and the beautiful, and it's got all these analogies and visuals, but there's those little tiny imperfections, which aren't like bad musicianship. It's just like not the studio version where it's been like completely cleaned. And in my mind, it just makes it. And if you listen to this later in the performance, you'll hear that they start to swell with their volume pedals, the keyboard and the bass player, to kind of not just add texture, but also kind of muscle through those sections. And if you know what they're doing, it makes it all the better. Hold on one second. Hold on. Let me make sure this is still going here. All right. We're still going.
One day you'll be
This is a cool thing. When it leaves the chorus, it does this quick 2 chords again. This D minor to C, and then it's right back into the D minor, A, B flat. It's very cool. It's almost like they're going to go into another chorus, but then it's straight to the verse. Just listen for it. It's wild. It's a really hot country jump.
Knowing that this can't go on forever, likely one of us will have to spend some days alone. Maybe we'll get 40 years together. One day I'll be gone. One day you'll be gone. If we were vampires and death was a joke, we'd go out on the sidewalk and smoke and laugh at all the lovers and their plans. I wouldn't feel the need to hold your hand.
I love that line so much. I wouldn't feel the need to hold your hand. You know, he's finding a way to take these really big ideas, you know, these huge ideas, and break it down to one little thing. You know, the nails leaving love's watermarks. You know, I wouldn't find the need to hold your hand. You know, because they're gonna live forever, right? It's knowing it's fleeting and rare is what makes it special. It's what makes us forgive. You know, it's the point. I mean, he's just a tremendous songwriter.
Maybe time running out is a gift.
Maybe time running out is a gift. Like James Taylor says, the secret to life is enjoying the passage of time. And I'll add, you know, and all the blessings that come with the different parts. It's just...
I'll work hard till the end of my shift.
And bringing it back to the everyday, you know, to the everyday that it's not anomaly. What's the word? You know, where it's like he's alluding to the end of my shift, like our whole life, but also each and every day going to work and doing what you have to do. So,
to give you every second I can find.
To give you every second that I can find.
And hope it isn't me who's left behind.
And hope it isn't me who's left behind. You know. Not because you can't handle it, because you don't want them to be the one to handle it.
Knowing that this can't go on forever.
This shot is so incredible.
Likely one of us will have to spend some days alone. Maybe we'll get 40 years together. But one day I'll be gone. One day you'll be gone.
That's one of those moments. Listen to the bass, the keys, and the 2 guitars in there. When they do that, those weird spots, when it goes D to C, one goes up and one goes down, or F to C, one goes up and one goes down, they're not all on the same page, and I'm telling you, it kind of fucking makes it. Listen for it.
Knowing that this can't go on forever. Likely one of us will have to spend some days alone. Maybe we'll get 40
Here they kind of got it the second time, but they're swelling through it.
years together. But one day I'll be gone. One day you'll be gone.
That I'm telling you, that really, it really is one of the greatest songs I've ever heard. It really is kind of embarrassing that I didn't know who he was. Jason, I'm sorry, brother. But it really is rare. It really is rare to find lyrics that they're delivered with a perfect melody that connects the chords perfectly, perfect arrangement. I love the 2 and 2, that each verse is 2 parts. And then the chorus itself is that structured 4-part chorus. Then you do those 2 little chords, and then you're right back into the verse. And then the solo section, I feel like you only have 2 choices in there. I feel like you either go straight on the melody and kind of stay through it, and you kind of keep it atmospheric and floaty. You stay on the hook, or you kind of do what she did and do like an evil, like kind of almost get there like a haunting kind of, like I almost want to hear like my favorite instrumentalist of all time, like a Vassar Clemens take a crazy just searing through a thunderstorm lead through there, right? That's that would be really something. But watching the 2 of them together, the way they come in and out and lock the eye contact, knowing that they're married, knowing that these songs came out of perseverance, of investing and believing in each other over incredibly tumultuous times, about which he's been totally transparent about, and the getting sober and the lack of self-esteem and betting on yourself and trying to fix what's inside, knowing that the battle of life is internal and not external, and finding a strong woman, a strong partner, to allow yourself to look in the mirror and to be loved. It's tremendous to watch, knowing all those things, feeling all those things personally, and then finding this and being able to talk about this and make this video after all that's happened for me in the past year and the support you're giving me and allowing me to talk like this and not just show you guitar lessons, and then having it all just kind of come to a head right after this video with James, where he just shared something incredibly personal, and I watched this community just embrace him and embrace that. There's so much good stuff in the world that's happening, and he is really, in a very short period of time, become a true inspiration for me, not just for musicianship, but as a man, as someone who's trying to work on themselves and get better every day. Again, not just musically, but upstairs, with the family, with the kids, inside, about how you view yourself, and then working on yourself. I'm just such a huge fan. Jason, I hope real life resumes, and I hope that you can tour again, or I can come down to Nashville and see it. It would be the treat of my life to be able to do that. Just literally one of the best songs I've ever heard. I think I need to start a series called like the best songs of all time, and have a video like this about those, the live versions, not the studio ones, and talk about the chords, the melody, the lyrics, the emotional content, but do it in the context of one great performance live. I really think I might do that. But I might still just call it React so people, click on it, frankly. But anyhow, that's it for today, ladies and gentlemen. I really appreciate it. If you have any other songs like this that you think should be in that series, please drop them in the comments with the link. If you want to support the channel, if you want to find extra motivation, inspiration to pick this thing up every day, I hope you'll consider clicking the first link in the description and joining me and so many others over at guitargate.com. It's a whole community of people sharing music they love, working on their craft, and just trying to get better. So if you're interested in that, I'd love to be your online teacher. Thank you guys so much. I'll see you real soon. Cheers.